Hello, Tim from Fairplay Now on the 27th of September 2021. First day back at work after a few days off with Lorraine, and as I was making my way around, went past probably about 4 or 5 different petrol stations, all of them run dry, and luckily I don't need any fuel at the moment, although Lorraine's car is only on about 30 miles now on the trip computer. So luckily she works from home now anyway, and well, she's hoping to go out a couple of times during the week, but whether she'll be able to do that or not, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not here to moan and grizzle on about the sort of fuel thing itself. I just think it's an exercise in human stupidity. But call me an old cynic, but do you think this whole fuel thing has been engineered to really carry on the lockdown in all but name? Because I honestly think that the government tested the waters a couple of weeks ago, didn't they, with the fire break lockdowns may be necessary in the autumn, and now it's gone all quiet, and I suspect it's gone quiet because there was a heck of a lot of pushback on it, including from some sort of 2 or 3 fairly notable names, big names, who said they would not be locked down again. And I think that what they could do is just threaten kind of fuel shortages all through the winter, which would really, as I say, be locked down in all but name, because people, they wouldn't want to commute to work. They'd sort of want to work from home so they don't have to use the car for fear of running out and not being able to get to work or back home. And also, if you're planning on a longer trip, would you really want to go on one if there's a threat of a fuel shortage halfway through your trip and you can't get home? And also, yeah, maybe you wouldn't be so keen on going out and using up precious fuel in your tank without being confident that you could replace it. So call me an old cynic, but it would be a really good way of carrying on the sort of lockdown in all but name, wouldn't it, if they kind of had sort of perpetual threats of fuel shortages. So that is just kind of my own take on things, or I thought it was, but I'm watching today's episode of UK Column News, and they were really on their opening piece right at the start of the programme saying pretty much the same thing, so they must be equally as cynical as I am, and which was quite funny to see, really. Now, UK Column News, if you're a newer subscriber to my channel, you might not have heard me going on about them, or you might not even know who they are, although a lot of viewers of this channel do. And I've got to admit, I haven't actually seen an episode of UK Column News since mid-August, because they then went on their summer break for however long it was, 2 or 3 weeks, and then I just haven't got back into the pattern of watching their programmes. They do one on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and I normally like to watch their programmes, probably not all 3 times normally, but at least once and often twice, because they are a really good source of truther news. And if you really want to know what really is going on in the world, they put out a really good programme 3 times a week, and each episode's about an hour and a half long. You don't necessarily have to watch it all. They kind of have some show notes underneath their underneath their videos, and it says what each article that they're talking about is and the time that it starts in the video. So you can just read through the show notes, and if you're only interested in a couple of the features, you can just sort of go straight to those. But yeah, I highly recommend their channel if you don't know them already. So it's UK Column News, and you can find them at ukcolumn.org, and I'll put a link in the description box below here as well, so you can go and watch that episode that I'm talking about. I'm only halfway through the episode actually myself, so I'll be joining you if you choose to watch that in watching the rest of it shortly after getting this video of mine uploaded. So I thought I'd just go back and come out with a couple of predictions, which may well be totally wrong, of course, but my first prediction on lockdowns is that there may well not be another lockdown in England, at least this winter, because I think, as I say, there's been way too much pushback on it, and I think they are coming out with this strategy of maybe sort of fuel crises, ongoing fuel crises, to kind of make us lock down anyway. And then another prediction that I'm going to make is, again, a lot of people think that there could be a lot of power cuts over the winter, really bad power cuts where we're without power for a long time. Again, I don't think that's going to happen myself, and I'll tell you why. Of course, there might be the odd sort of highly localised, relatively short power cuts here and there up and down the country, and just your sort of normal power cuts that you get during the winter anyway. But there won't be a sort of a big one that affects a lot of people for a long time, purely and simply because how else are they going to get their precious mainstream propaganda into everybody's houses through the dreaded Gogglebox? I think, if they did have a massive power cut nationwide, people won't be listening to the mainstream narrative, and they'll be getting together instead and talking among themselves and to friends and family, and then those conversations may well end up going in directions other than the mainstream narratives, which is the last thing they'll want. So on that basis, I'm going to predict that power cuts this winter might be the odd annoying one here and there, but I don't think they'll be devastating. And one last prediction, again, could be totally wrong here, but I wouldn't be surprised if kind of the whole lurgy narrative, at least again here in England, starts to die down a bit. And I think, the government and the mainstream could retreat on it, and they won't put their hands up and admit any kind of liability or mistakes or blame or anything like that. All they'll do is try and sort of cover the whole thing in a flurry of other big news, and I think this whole fuel thing is the start of it. And there may well be more fuel shortage news and various other bits and bobs, and before you know it, the sort of public's attention will be diverted away from the lurgy onto these other things, and then the whole lurgy narrative will just sort of quietly slip into the background. Probably not sort of slip away completely, of course, but at least go into the background a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Again, could be totally wrong, absolutely wrong. You know, they could just as easily start talking about rising, sort of the thing that sort of rhymes with faces, and from there trips to the big place that starts with the letter H, deaths and all the rest of it, and then we'll be right back at square one. But I'm kind of going to put a little flutter, proverbially speaking, because I don't think any betting shop would take the actual bet, but on the fact that that is what's going to happen. Things will just sort of fade into the background a little bit. So there's just a few little musings there for you. Just the one video from me today, because I'm going to get back to watching this episode of UK Column News and then just chill out tonight, really. Back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.